All right, we've got all 5 of our pieces made, and what we're going to do is put these pieces together so that they form the walls of our hut. However, the first thing that we're going to do is grab our plastic canvas, and we have to make 2 wall pieces that we're going to sew into. I just need to find the best solution. Probably go this way. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Sharpie again and mark so I'm just going to cut straight across here. I have my 2 pieces of plastic cut. We are going to want to trim them down so that they fit just inside of this. So I'm going to take just a little bit more off of here, and I'll be right back. Okay, and when I mean little bit by little bit, I just mean, you know, maybe 1 row of notches off at a time. Don't take a lot. All right, so both of them should fit inside. We're going to use these later, and we're going to actually sew them to the inside of 2 of our walls inside the house. It's going to help to keep the pieces upright, and it'll also help to support our roof later. I'm going to finish trimming up my plastic, and I'll be right back, and we'll start assembling our wall. All right, set these guys aside, and now we're going to start working on putting our wall pieces together. We are going to be using our yarn again and our hook. All right, now according to our written instructions, it says holding the wrong side together with the right side facing you. So this is the wrong side, this is the right side. Right side needs to be facing us. Starting on the bottom edge, which is the bottom of the wall from the edge instructions. So our edge instructions had us go this way, and this is the bottom. This is the bottom edge. That's where we're going to have to the right side of us. Working from left to right in the back loop only of the sides. So we're starting left. I know this sounds wrong, but we're going to do a reverse single crochet or a crab stitch. So it's going to work left to right. Starting in the back loop only. So back loop only of this one and the back loop only of this one. And we're going to pull up a loop. And we're going to go ahead and reverse single crochet into the next set of back loops only. Now we're working through both thicknesses, but only in the back loops. And we're going to do that all the way across this side. And if you've never done a reverse single crochet, I probably should have shown you that. We're going into the stitch indicated and then just treating it like a regular single crochet. So we're always going to the stitch to the right or backwards. And it may feel a little bit awkward to begin with, but once you get it down, it's a very easy stitch to do. And it makes a really nice kind of cord look, and we'll look at it in a minute. But we're going to do this all the way down the side. I apologize if you can hear my little dog snoring in the background. She gets very relaxed when I make my tutorial videos. All right, we're almost there. I know this is going slow, but this is one of those slower stitches, especially when you are having to pay attention to which loops you're using. If I was just going through both thicknesses and both sets of loops, this would go much faster. All right, we are going to stop on the last stitch of this side, like so. Now, this is what a reverse single crochet looks like. I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer to the camera and see if we can't get that to zoom in a little bit. It makes a raised edge, and it looks kind of like a cord. To me, it looked like roped cement when I was originally designing this. So that's why we went with that particular stitch for this area. Now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to slip stitch right here. Just pull that through. Don't make an actual stitch. And cut that off. You're going to have 2 ends to deal with on each one of these. So now we're just going to go ahead and add the next one on. Make sure that your top edge and your bottom edge are in the right place. And join your guys together. Pull up a loop. And I chain 1. And then go into the next set of loops. And start your reverse single crochets. We're going to do this for all 5 of these pieces. Now you're only going to have 4 reverse single crochet columns because we only have 5 walls. We'll deal with the open ends of the walls because you'll notice that your bottom has 6 sides because it's a hexagon. And we're only making 5 walls. That means that we're going to have a space for a door. And we will pretty up the edges as we're connecting the walls to the base. Almost done with this one. When I finish this one, I'm going to go ahead and let you finish up putting together the remaining 3 pieces onto the walls. And I'll meet you back here when those are complete. Remember to slip stitch when you get to the end. Basically, the spot that I'm using to slip stitch is the chain 1 space that we made when we rounded the corner. Alrighty, keep going. I'll see you back here when I've got the rest of my walls on. Alrighty, all 5 of my pieces are together. Hopefully you kept all of your stitches going in the same direction, starting always in the same spots, moving left to right, top to bottom. Alrighty, so now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to sew the pieces in to our walls. And we're going to do that so that it's easier because these pieces are easier to move around and more malleable when they are not connected to the bottom just yet. All right, so what I'm going to do first is in the second, so we've got piece number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Pieces 2 and 4 are where I'm going to put both of these plastic pieces. And I am, in lieu of making a knot that I would have to somehow hide, I'm going to weave my yarn into the bottom stitches so that they come up at the bottom. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to start connecting my plastic in that spot. All right, so go ahead and pop your needle through that first hole. Now, we want to make sure that these edges are still able to fold, so don't go over this seam that you created when you single crocheted them together. And these really hard to see little loops right here are where that happened. So stay within those. And then you just basically, I straight stitch everything in place. And I will go out the front, and then I watch what I'm doing when I'm coming back through so that I can hide that stitch in there And it's about every 2-ish. And then go in. It just naturally seems to line up like that. And if you skip over a few more, that's okay. You just want to make sure that your stitches are kind of lining up with our front loops from when we worked in our back loop only. Those are right here. So even though this right here is a long stitch that I did up in the front, a little bit longer than I normally would have, it lines right up along with the stitches that we left showing. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I kind of try to line my stitches up so that they blend. Alrighty, and then into the last piece. All right, so I'm going to continue to attach this going around the whole outside. I'm also going to attach this one in the exact same manner that I'm attaching this one over here. When I get over here to where I'm ending and bringing it all together, I'm going to go ahead and weave my ends back and forth like I did to start with, to keep all of this very neat and easy to hide all of the ends. So go ahead and get these two pieces in place, and I'll be right back. We are going to then crochet our bottom onto our top together. All right, and we're back. Everything's all sewn in place, and now we're going to determine the top from the bottom. If you look at your work, the open stitches on the top, it's a single row, and if you look at the other side, it's 2 rows of single crochet. That's going to be your bottom because it also has that rounded edge on there. And so I'm going to just so that as I'm working on this, I don't get myself turned around for some reason, I'm just going to stick a stitch marker in there to mark the top part. Now we are going to attach our base to our walls, and so it's going to cover 5 sides. What we're going to start with though is the walls, and then we're going to single crochet, or not single crochet, but reverse single crochet the base into place. This is the top side. This is the part that I just took my stitch marker off. So this is the right side of our work, and this is the wrong side of our work. We want the wrong side of the work facing up as we're doing this. But what we're going to do is the top of our work, we're once again going to be working left to right. So we're going to join the top, and we're going to be working through the back loops again. So chain 1. Now just go ahead and in each one of the back loops, and I, for some reason, can't do this. Hang on. There we go. All right. So we're going to reverse single crochet. I'm going to get this put on here, and then I'll be right back when we're ready to turn the corner. All right. Now I have finished working the reverse single crochet all the way down the side of the opening. Now we are going to use the chain 1 spaces that we created when we were turning the corners, and we're going to go into the back loop of that, and then we're going to match wrong sides. This is the right side, so wrong side to wrong side. And on the bottom, we want to, this is where we put our 2 single crochets in the corner pieces. We're going to go into, so that's 1, 2, 3. Those are those 2 corner ones. We're going to go into the 4th single crochet of that, and that's where we're going to start putting these together. So into the chain 1 space, this is a little bit fiddly, and into the 4th single crochet of that corner. And now let's, through both thicknesses, back loops only, we are going to reverse single crochet this on. Now those corner ones where we have the 4 in there, when we get to these corners, we're just going to kind of work with what we have here. Sorry, I just lost my place. There we go. Okay, so the back loops. I'm thinking too far ahead. That's part of my problem. And all right, let me fight this out and get to that other corner, and then I can explain it to you. All right, so just so making this a little bit easier to see, I went ahead and I marked the first stitch of the next flat piece. Because what we're gonna do is you just kind of fiddle with it, and you're gonna reverse a single crochet into those stitches. And then you're going to do it more than once in this corner space just because you want it to turn the corner nicely. And that's only going to happen if we put more than one stitch into the corner space, but work them into the same spaces on the bottom. Does that make sense? So we're doing multiples up here as well as multiples just in this one corner. And then as we turn, I'm just going to move that marker. As we turn, then we start working into the stitches that match up again, going across. So each time that you get to a corner, you're going to put probably 2 or 3 right in here. But then you're also going to put the same 2 or 3 in these corner stitches here just to keep everything nice and tight together and make it turn the corner. All right, I'm going to keep going and get this all added on here, and then we can move on to the door jamb. All right, all of my sides are attached to the bottom all the way around, and you should have a nice even row going all the way around attaching your bottom. Now, to finish this off, we're just going to do the reverse single crochet up the side, the second side of the opening through the back loops again only, and that will actually finish off this section of the bottom. The next thing that we're going to work on is our door and our door jamb. So you need to get yourself a few ounces of brown, a little bit of black, and another tiny piece of plastic canvas. And we will get the door jamb and the door in place, and then this bottom will be nice and solid. All right, I'm going to finish this up. I'll see you in a little while.